Today, we're going to be diving into crypto-backed loans when it comes to real estate and what you should be looking out for. We'll get right into it. I do want to thank our sponsor, and that is Coinbase. Coinbase is where you guys can begin your crypto journey, and one of the ways you can do it is signing up. If you haven't already opened a Coinbase account, whether you're a business or an individual, check it out. All you have to do is use our link. The future of money is here. It does help us out, so get to it. All right, you guys have probably seen us cover Propy before, and I want to introduce and bring back to the show Natalia, who's the CEO over there. How are you?
Hi, Paul. Great to be back. Very, very good. Very excited about our news.
Another 100 million in terms of an expansion. This is around an AI escrow officer, which is going to modernize your home closings. Explain to me a little bit about what you guys are doing here.
Absolutely. So we've just launched our news about the $100 million AI-led roll-up strategy. And I think we have identified the biggest opportunity in real estate in today's market. And it's where it matters the most, the transfer of ownership, the title and escrow. The US title industry is a $25 billion industry, and it's very fragmented. Yet, it's a very profitable business. So I don't know, Paul, if we covered that before, but probably many of you have heard that Propy has been building this AI and smart contract powered platform for 8 years.
Yep.
But the interesting fact is 2.5 years ago, we bought the first title company licensed in Colorado and Arizona. Back then, I just moved to Florida, and we expanded these title operations to Florida, got our license, got our sales team. That's where our profitable journey started, because we were able to finally utilize our platform at full and start generating revenue and growing very fast quarter to quarter. So now, with this AI-led roll-up strategy, we're acquiring more title companies with only one multiple to their annual revenue, increasing the margin, increasing the productivity of the closing team, and expanding nationally.
Interesting. And part of this is, of course, built around your AI. We'll talk about that in a second. But before we roll into that, so this could be a big unlock for you guys in general. Let's take a look at the crypto-backed loan side of it, because this is something that is somewhat new to you guys. So you've got 100% crypto-backed loan capability here. Some of the key benefits, you guys have probably seen some of this out there, and this seems to be an area that is growing. How are people using this right now to be able to kind of leverage into real estate with crypto?
Yeah, well, obviously, in the past years of crypto booms, the majority of crypto investors wanted to exit some of their profits in real estate. But at the same time, they don't want to exit their Bitcoin or other crypto positions. So there is an appetite, a huge demand for utilizing crypto as a collateral and then entering the more predictable, risk-averse investments like real estate. But there has been nothing available on the market besides smaller players. We're at this stage of the market where traditional mortgage companies are warming up towards crypto, utilizing it as a collateral, especially with the summer FHA announcements. And then the crypto lenders, they're becoming more prone to accept real estate as a collateral or provide loans backed by crypto for the real estate purchase purpose. So it's yet to evolve, but we're at a very early stage. So you can imagine that a Bitcoin holder could lock their Bitcoin holdings and get a USDC or a stablecoin loan, right, and acquire a property on the spot, on chain, automatically, instantly.
Right now, it's Bitcoin and Ethereum as collateral. Is that correct?
Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. But the majority of our deals, well, the first deal we did was in Bitcoin. That was earlier this year. And now we're collaborating with other partners like Morpho, like Milo, that is also, they're accepting primarily Bitcoin. We're open to different other types of assets such as Solana, XRP. But again, it's yet to scale. It was a very interesting breakthrough beginning, but at some point, probably within the frame of 5 years, we'll see it as a normal standard practice.
first of all, do you think banks offering these kinds of loans will help the industry and help you guys overall, or is this something more of a competitive landscape now?
I think overall it uplifts the whole industry.
Yeah.
So if those banks, and they're one of the biggest lenders for providing mortgages, if they embrace the cryptocurrency and the cryptography that we've built in the right way, then it could be an add-on partner. But we are hearing that currently some of the regulations that have been introduced are being altered, or there is a willingness to alter it. So bank has a better and stronger competitive advantage over the crypto native companies. So I think we yet to see and evolve how two worlds will overlap, or the new generation technology will disrupt, again, the status quo.
The other area that I think obviously starts to separate you guys is what you're doing on the AI front. I'm looking here at your agent, Avery. I was listening to the phone call that is a sample here, and I would recommend you guys going and looking at it. It's over on propy.com /Avery. But is that the only use case that is kind of going through minutia of title companies being able to pull off, loan balances, et cetera? Or do you see this becoming much more integrated into the entire real estate deal?
Oh, I think the AI agentic world is changing a number of verticals, including real estate. And I feel that AI agent Avery potentially will become this licensed escrow and title agent that will operate alongside humans licensed experts, and potentially will eliminate all the human-prone mistakes and human-prone inefficiencies. So she is currently executing on two roles. One of them that you've heard on our website, it's propy.com/Avery. You could actually talk to her. It's more kind of a sales role. She can explain everything about Propy, about real estate on blockchain, how to get a loan against your Bitcoin to buy real estate, what is a Propy token, how smart contracts are useful for crypto transactions in real estate, crypto wallets, how AI is useful for real estate. However, the main breakthrough is through her second role, and is the role of an escrow officer. Our AI agent Avery is aware of every single transaction. Our escrow officers work with her as a co-pilot in every single transaction. They ask, for example, how many deals do we have today? How many escrow deposits have we received today? And then she can also act as per their request. She calls our lenders to get mortgage payouts. She calls HOAs to get information for closings.
I like it. I wish you could call my HOA, because I'm always having to deal with them. Maybe this will become a retail product soon. Let's talk about the growth of crypto closings for real estate. It has been slow moving, obviously for regulatory reasons, but that is, of course, over the past year has really opened up. Now we're seeing collateral being utilized, crypto kind of earmarked as a collateral now for almost any bank loan out there. Do you think this is going to accelerate into the real estate market? Where would you put this market in a year from now?
And I like to make a comparison to the spike, huge instant spike, and the fade of the NFT hype. As you remember, when we had this interest towards arts and buying artists' work for NFT, and all the celebrities were getting on board, and it was suddenly billions of dollars poured into the industry. Real estate on chain, I feel like even though it took years to get to those early adoption signals that we're experiencing today, it will further accelerate and grow. So it did not experience any huge spike in the past years, but gradually it built on the momentum in a very healthy way, which is signaling to us that it's here to stay. And so within 1 year, we would see stablecoins, Bitcoin, to be accepted as a norm in a real estate transaction process. During the last bull run, 11.8% of first home buyers use cryptocurrency to fund their down payment. So obviously, the new generation making money in crypto, they want to reinvest it then into their biggest dream, which is ownership, American dream to own a home in America. So within 1 year, I see even bigger adoption. After the Clarity Act was introduced this summer, the next month, our developer clients, real estate developers, suddenly saw a huge spike of transactions in stablecoin, which was surprising to us because we never marketed it, neither developers. But as soon as it was introduced as an option, they had doubled their number of sales in high quality luxury buildings here in Florida, where numerous buyers would use their stablecoins to buy real estate.
Interesting. Well, and I showed a tweet here. This was in reference to one of your reports here. The leads jumped 25%. You had 94% of buyers now US based, led by Florida, obviously, California, Texas. But there's some of the closings right there with stablecoin, Bitcoin, ETH, and even XRP. So interesting times ahead. Now, I know you're looking to increase the Pro token utility. What will that utility look like in the future for the Propy token?
Yeah, Propy token is the major utility token that is bringing real estate on chain. It brings a lot of attention to Propy by the global property market participants. So as you know, it acts as a gas fee for every single transaction in Propy. Then we also utilize it with our partner Coinbase that you have just mentioned, where last year a lot of Coinbase users were able to learn about Propy title and earn a reward Propy tokens. So it has been a tremendous value for Propy brand recognition, for bringing real estate participants to the market. And now, this week actually, we are launching our next white paper on upgraded token economics for PRO, which is again listed on Coinbase, recently also on Kraken. As I mentioned, we have launched the news about $100 million roll-up. So the fascinating part of it is that we're using the funds from private credit funds as well as on-chain lending. And what I refer to is our partner Morpho, where we're able to get a loan against our crypto holdings. And when we utilize our funds that are backed by crypto holdings, and when we're acquiring our next title company, part of the profits from these operations will be utilized to buy back Propy tokens so that we further build our treasury towards going public.
All right, so that's interesting, an interesting flywheel. So taking loans out on crypto holdings, leveraging that into purchase businesses, and then of course that gives you the capacity on cash flow to go out and rebuy Propy tokens, and then get ready for an IPO. Wow, nice moves. I like that process. How long before we would see an IPO for you guys?
Well, it all depends how quickly we will execute on our $100 million roll-up strategy, and I will share why it matters. So it could be anywhere from 12 months to 48 months, and then 6 months for preparation for the IPO itself. So let me explain how it works. When we acquire $100 million worth of businesses, these are about 10 title companies nationally in different markets with $10 million revenue each. So you could imagine that there are two benefits to acquire those title companies. First, they're profitable, they have great teams. And second, it allows us to grow to $100 million revenue faster than we do organically. And in the tech world, with $100 million revenue, the valuation multiple is normally between 7 to 20x. That's where a company reaches the unicorn status and is ready to go public.
Well, I think this is a strategy that's been used, in Silicon Valley for a long time in terms of buying up, doing acqui-hires, as they call them in the Valley. But to your point, you're getting into revenue-generating businesses, which only build the balance sheet for you guys. And then you have the integration tools that, obviously, from the crypto side of things, that could really change on the backside in terms of opportunities. So kudos to you guys. In terms of stablecoins, you look at the expansion that we've seen with just USDC. Most likely we're going to see other stablecoins make their way in, maybe even some bank stablecoins. How do you think that is going to play out in use case for everyday real estate agents, et cetera, to start utilizing stablecoins more efficiently?
The stablecoin is the new rails for the new generation banking system, for the new financial world. You could imagine that instead of sending wires, we would transfer stable coins when we're closing transactions for earnest money deposits, for the final payment. It allows us, our smart contract enabled platform, to fully execute the whole transaction on chain. And there are a number of emerging banks that are utilizing stable coins. Some of them are partnering with Coinbase. The recent one that made a lot of noise in the tech world is Airbor. So they want to use the stablecoin rails to rebuild the banks the way we know it. Mm-hmm. For Propy and for real estate, this is important because we will avoid wire fraud, which is a huge risk in the real estate industry, but also it allows us to fully settle a transaction on chain. What is a real estate transaction? Everywhere in the world, it has the same pillars. There is a purchase agreement, so there are terms that we feed to smart contracts. There is a payment, whether it's stable coin or bank. It's better to be on the new crypto rails, stable coin. And then finally, when conditions are met from these purchase agreements, we have the settlement. And the settlement is dispersing the funds in the end. So you could imagine stablecoin dispersed to realtors, the seller, the lender, recording ownership simultaneously. Today, ironically, some states first record the deed and then they disperse the funds. Other states do it in the opposite way. But in this tech world, it should be instantaneously. It should be secure, immutable. That's what we've built at Propy, and hopefully it will be the new standard that is fraud-prone industry to change forever. We're very satisfied with the current Genius Act and Clarity Act about to be enacted to change the way institutional players understand the blockchain innovation, and then be ready for this adoption. Be ready where real estate fully moves on chain. So stable coin also is being used by our partners, real estate developers, because normally they need to hold funds during the duration of their construction process. Mm-hmm. And historically, they've been holding those funds in their escrow accounts that are in custody of banks and title companies like ours. And they would yield anywhere between 3.5 to 4% in the today's market. Stablecoin on Coinbase, who is our partner, we act as an escrow license company. Then Coinbase is our custodian, holding the funds in our account instead of a bank, and then it yields higher. So for a period longer than 1 year, it's 6.1%, which is very appealing to real estate developers. That in the past month or two, I've received so many cold emails from real estate developer owners to get on board with stable coins, to accept Bitcoin, even to do fractional ownership.
Yeah, which is, that's where I see some of the growth opportunity as we start to really kind of see this play out with stablecoins. There's going to be so many opportunities in terms of vaults and stablecoin yields, all that playing in, provided that the DC guys don't get in there and mess this up, which is what they're kind of going against right now in terms of fighting against the banks wanting to retain those yields. We're going to be watching what's happening with you guys very closely. So thank you so much for coming in today. We appreciate it, Natalia.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you always for featuring our major news.
You bet. All right. You guys, of course, can catch more of this out there on our Diamond Circle. It's our own private group that we send out updates, insights to stuff that even we don't cover here on the show. We leave a link down below. You can catch it there. And of course, follow me out there on X at Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on The Paul Barron Show.